US dollar's global dominance is declining as the US government has abused its currency power too much with reckless government debt and unprecedented money printing. BizBeat, the insight you need. I'm Junfeng. On June 22nd, Fed Chair Jerome Powell said in a House testimony that US inflation could run hotter than the central bank expected. In May, America's inflation was 5%. The last two times consumer inflation got over 5%, in 1990 and 2008, big recessions followed as the economy overheated. Though Powell tried to downplay inflation pressure, citing increases in oil prices and rebounding spending, there's no doubt that America's record money printing flooded its domestic market with cheap dollars and helped push up consumer prices. So, how much money has the US printed? Since early 2020, US national debt has increased by $5 trillion. That's $2.2 trillion CARES Act, $900 billion Phase 4 under former President Trump, plus President Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion COVID-19 spending bill. Who financed that much money? Data shows that foreign central banks and institutions barely lent any money to America. Their dollar reserve has been steady at around $7 trillion since early 2020. The fact is, the Fed bought $2.8 trillion debt with printed money, and US financial institutions bought the rest. Fed's data also shows that 22% of the circulating dollar was printed in 2020 alone. Moreover, the Biden administration is lining up yet another $2.3 trillion infrastructure spending bill, so more dollars are expected to be printed. What's the reaction of global central banks? The share of US dollar reserves held by global central banks fell to 59% by the end of 2020 from 71% 25 years ago, according to an IMF survey. This shows the declining role of the US dollar in the global economy. For example, China's RMB now takes up 18% of Iran's foreign reserve. China and Russia have cut back their bilateral trade invoiced in dollars. China is also ramping up the digital currency drive, making it easier for foreigners to hold the RMB. If the US keeps running large budget deficits and keeps printing money to finance its debt, a surge of inflation eventually could weaken the dollar's attractiveness as a reserve currency. Henry Paulson, former US Treasury Secretary, wrote in an article, The Future of the Dollar, that the US must maintain an economy that inspires global credibility and confidence. Failure to do so will, over time, put the US dollar's position in peril.